Bueno. Diario. No. Tengo que ir a ver. Al icono, ¿cuál? Este no. Es que claro, ¿qué icono tengo que ir? A ver así. No sé cuántos. Pero es que no me pone el nombre. ¿Divis puede ser? A Tumblr, ¿no? Yo estoy en el quinto, coño, pero bueno. Tengo que ir a Tumblr, ¿no? quiero intervenir en la escaramuza, no. Bueno, ya he llegado. Hola Miguel, ¿qué pasa, tío? ¿Qué te cuentas? ¿Cuánto tiempo? Tucu, 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 tum. Espérate, voy a bajarme del caballo. A ver qué tienes tú.
God save you. What can I do for you?
Comercial.
Can we trade? If you've got the coin. God be with you.
Vender. ¿Qué tengo yo para vender? Y es que ya ni me acuerdo. Agua potable, no. ¿Qué armas? Antorchas. La espada del tal. Estas me las tengo que quedar. Pues si voy cargadísimo. De aquí no. Que llevo ya 3 meses sin jugar. Estos otros. Mira, tengo ganzúas aquí para parar un tren. Bueno, macho. Venga, hasta luego. ¿Y yo qué me ha pasado aquí? Ah, vale, ya. Sin robar. Sin
Henry,
divis.
I'm glad you stopped by.
Greetings. What business have you?
Can I be of service to you, Sir Divish? I've heard talk that something is going on in Pribyslavitz.
Henry, you've come at just the right moment. I sent a man to Pribyslavitz. My locator, Marius.
What's a locator?
A land allocator. I charged him with checking on the condition of the settlement to see if we can start rebuilding it.
You're planning to resettle the village?
Yes,
Why Pribyslavitz, of all places?
because it's been lying fallow and falling into ruin since it was sacked by Havelmedic years ago. It's about time that changed.
Well, it should be safe there now. We trounced that rabble on the battlefield.
Yes, and that's why I sent my master locator there. However, he should have been back long since.
If you've no objection, I could go and look for him.
I'd appreciate that. He probably just got delayed. But I'd be happier if you checked it out. God be with you.
Bueno, empezamos bien. Guardando, como se tiene que hacer. Guardando.
You said something about a message?
What was it about? Nothing terribly urgent, sir. Just a reminder from your cousin that he'll come in a month.
I see. Well, remind me the week before the election, so I'll have time to prepare properly for the visit.
Of course, sir.
¡Ay, qué te he pisado! Bueno, pues vámonos para Ps4 este. A ver. Mapa. Oh. Si no me entretiene nadie, tío. Estoy de... Ahí... Esto ya me está oliendo... Ay, aquí es donde estuvo... Donde maté al gilipollas ese. Menudo hijo de puta. Buscar al cenutrio este, que a saber dónde esté. Campamento. Bueno. Pantallita de carga, como no.
Well, I never.
So, it's all clear to me now.
What is? Who are you? You've no business here.
I'm Henry, and I was expecting to find you here.
What? How could you?
Sir Divish's locator went missing around these parts.
Well, it seems like he's all out of luck, don't it? Divish ought to have sent someone better than you to parley.
He didn't send me to parley, he sent me to deal with it.
Deal with it? There's plenty of us, and you're on your own, so I think twice about how you're going to deal with that.
Let him go, right now. Or you can stay here and feed the crows, like the rabble who were here before you.
All right. No need to be hasty, eh? We'll be on our way then. Quietly. That fella's in the tent over there. Huh?
Se han ido. Ah, está ahí.
I'm being held.
Thank you. My pleasure. Sir Divish sent me to find you. And it looks like I arrived just in time.
God's truth.
I'm Henry of Scalitz.
My name is Marius Bilek, Master Locator. Sir Divish sent me here to survey the area.
Well, the outlaws are out of the way, so we can go and report to him, right?
Not just yet. Those bastards caught me as soon as I arrived. And so far all I've seen is the inside of the tent they tied me up in. I still have a job to do. Come along with me if you like. We'll report to Sir Divish afterwards.
I'll escort you then. At least I can make sure you don't get caught again.
What? Are there more of those bandits around?
No, I just meant... Never mind. Should we get going?
Watch it. You can't draw your weapon here.
This is a good spot for the rat house. Every village must have one. It'll be nice and prominent here. It's on the hillside, so the foundations will stay dry. It can have its own little square, close to the church. There's no better site here.
You better put that weapon away, or you'll be asking for trouble.
Standing. Good. Whoever built it did a good job. Considering how old it is and what it's been through recently, it stood up well. It won't be an easy job to fix it, but it can be done. Timber alone won't do, though.
Hey. Put that weapon away before someone gets hurt.
We could fit at least one tradesman's shop here. Maybe a baker's? There's quite a lot of space here. It just needs clearing thoroughly. Then we could even fit stables here. Main approach road and the stream. This bridge needs reinforcing. It won't last long in this condition. I reckon it would make sense to build a weir over the stream down there. The water here is clean and can be used to supply the village until we sink a well. It's a good thing we have this stream. No point in building without a water source. Supplies and trade will flow through here. I can't even see past the trees and ruins whether there's room for anything there. But at least the trees are strong and healthy. All we need is a few good woodcutters, and we won't have to bring in any timber from elsewhere. Stone foundations. They'll come in handy, and we're close to the stream.
Antonio.
Lots of space here. Big space, clean water, close to the village green. A good site for an inn. That's that then. Most essential surveying is done.
So, Master Locator, ready to start building?
There's a long way to go before that. The few ruins that are left are basically beyond repair. It's all overgrown with brush.
Oh dear.
We'll have to get it all cleared before we can start rebuilding it.
So it is possible to rebuild everything?
Yes, absolutely.
But building a whole village is no small enterprise.
We'll need timber, lots of it, which isn't a problem in the middle of the woods, of course. We'll have to hire wage labor to begin with. Quite a lot of men. I think we should get started without delay. There's a lot of work involved, but it'll be well worth the effort. I can just imagine it. The church will dominate the whole settlement.
Well, that's good news. When will you inform Sir Divish?
Why wait? I'll head to Talmberg right away. But would you keep an eye on things here in the meantime? It would be rather embarrassing to run into more bandits when I return with Sir Divish.
No problem. I'll be right here.
It shouldn't take us long.
Verás tú, verás tú.
My lord, welcome to Pribyslavitz. That is to say, welcome back to Pribyslavitz after all these years. Well, what's left of it.
Not to worry, Marius. I'm glad to be back in my old hamlet. Although, it seems to have aged about as gracefully as I have over the years.
I beg to differ, sir. It's quite dilapidated, unlike your good self, but at least it's safe now. Thanks in part to Henry here, who also saved me from a predicament that cost me valuable time. Who knows? If it hadn't been for him, we might not even be talking now.
Well, in the end, you managed things in your own way, I see. Just as you said you would.
I did my best, sir. They didn't look all that tough, so I put a bit of pressure on them and they took to their heels.
You were outnumbered and you scared them off?
Ah, they were greenhorns. I think they may have been a bit intimidated by me.
Let's hope they don't try anything like that again.
I'm quite sure they won't, sir.
Let's get down to the matter in hand, shall we? What state is Pribyslavitz in?
Sir, in my official capacity as locator, I am gratified to inform you that the hamlet of Pribyslavitz may be renewed. And indeed it offers prospects of considerable expansion beyond its former limits.
Splendid. Finally, some good news for this province.
And badly needed, too.
So, what have you discovered so far? I want to know all the details.
We had a scout around.
We conducted a basic survey, from which we can make a preliminary outline of the parcels. I already have in my head an initial plan of what can be built where.
We should certainly have a church. I'd like to preserve the existing one.
That should present no serious obstacles. The building is in much better condition than we anticipated. But extensive reconstruction will be required.
That's to be expected.
There's a stream here, and a well, right in the middle of the village.
Yes, and there are abundant woods around. Clearing them will provide both extra land and timber supplies that we can use right away.
Right now, I believe we're standing on the village green, aren't we?
The future green, that is. The village center will comprise at least 6 large buildings to begin with. We can't fit any more than that here. So there will be other buildings away from the square. In particular, more extensive structures.
I'm glad to hear it. I never expected you'd find so much space here in the middle of the woods. The building work we're about to engage in is only the first part of my plan. Later, we'll clear more forest for agricultural land, and build more farmhouses. But, for now, we'll have to focus on more sensible goals.
As you wish, my lord.
But rebuilding a whole village must cost the king's ransom, though.
It's true it won't come cheap. Before the tradesmen settle here and start producing and trading, it will be necessary to invest a certain amount of capital.
A certain amount? How much exactly?
I wouldn't venture to state a precise amount at this point, but I expect it will come to some Thousands, even tens of thousands of groschen.
That much? I hope you're good at haggling.
We shall, of course, attempt to procure everything at the best possible price. But raising a settlement from the ashes you see around you is a costly business. Nevertheless, I can assure you, my lord, that if all goes well, the investment shall all come back to you with interest.
I hope I shall live to enjoy it, Master Marius.
A village isn't a village without villagers. You'll need new subjects. Even preparing the ground for building will need lots of labor. Where can we find so many people, sir?
You sound skeptical, lad, but it's a good question. I've already given it some thought. I've agreed with Radzik and Hanish that we shall make an announcement in Rattay to invite people to move here and help with the construction, which will bring them many benefits, but also obligations. In addition, I expect the prospects of a new home will appeal to your former Skalitz neighbors, more than a makeshift camp by the castle walls.
They'll be delighted, sir.
A splendid solution, sir. I've also been concerned about how to bring settlers here. But now it seems there will be no shortage of new inhabitants after all.
It seems things are finally looking up. We routed the bandits in battle, and Henry took care of the remnants. When can we get to work?
Right away, as far as I'm concerned. All we need is people and the necessary funds. And we'll need someone to keep order, at least in the interim.
True. I'll leave you some of my men.
If I may, I would recommend quickly appointing a bailiff to take responsibility for the renewal of the village, its coffers and its citizens.
True. First things first. Since you understand these matters best, you shall take charge of the land parceling and building works. You'll be available to the bailiff, but answerable directly to me.
I'd be honored, sir. Thank you.
And, as regards the office of bailiff, what about you, Henry?
Yes, sir?
You've proven yourself well. You've demonstrated that you're capable of solving problems, and you command the respect of your former Skalitz neighbors.
Well, I'm not so sure.
And you're also capable of maintaining law and order.
I must concur.
So, let us expedite matters. Henry, I hereby appoint you to the office of bailiff of the hamlet of Pribyslavitz, in my domain.
My lord, it's a great honor. Thank you.
You will oversee the initial renewal and administration of the village that will set the ground for further development. But don't imagine it'll be a bed of roses, lad. Being bailiff doesn't mean you can do whatever you like. If you don't treat the settlers rightly, I'll soon find out and relieve you of your office. Besides, we can't spare a single groschen from the Talmberg coffers now, with the province in chaos. So, you'll have to cover the cost for the building work from your own purse.
Me? But Marius said it would cost a fortune.
True, but from what I hear, you know how to get your hands on coin enough. So, I expect you'll manage it just fine.
I'd like to know who's been spreading such gossip.
And I am assigning you certain specific tasks. You must ensure the rebuilding of the church. That means complete reconstruction, wall paintings, and a new altar. See to it that in the future, the village will be capable of supporting a certain number of people. For that, you will need to ensure the construction of essential artisans' buildings. And ultimately, the village must produce sufficient earnings to fund further expansion.
But, sir, I've never done...
I understand your concerns, but you'll be handsomely rewarded. I shall grant you the proceeds from the whole village for the first 5 years, and you have my permission to use the surrounding woods and land as you see fit.
Well, that's, I mean... Are you sure I'm the right man for the job, sir? It's a lot of responsibility.
As you said yourself, Henry, it's a great honor. Besides, you won't be alone in it. I'll assist you and supervise the construction work.
Phew. All right, then.
So, we're agreed. You'll give this document to the Rattay bailiff. He'll make the announcement to invite settlers, which should ensure enough people to begin work. At the same time, your official appointment as bailiff will be announced.
I don't know what to say, sir.
I'm sure you won't disappoint me, Henry. And now I must get back to my duties at Talmberg. Send word when everything is prepared.
Certainly, sir. Have a safe journey.
Farewell, sir.
Adiós, la que me acaba de liar el hijo puta este. El cornudo este me lo ha hecho. Me ha hecho todo el lío el cabrón. Ya verás, ya verás. Así que yo creo que no tengo pasta yo para. $11.000. Va. Hijo de puta, la que me acaba de liar el cabrón. Que me ha hecho todo el lío. Y encima tengo que bajar hasta aquí abajo, tío. Torneo de rataje, déjate de tonterías. O sea que no es mi pueblo, es el pueblo del tío ese. A mí me deja ahí de alcalde, pero el pueblo es suyo. Eso no me gusta. Qué hijo de puta que me ha hecho ahí todo el lío. La pasta la debo de meter. Vamos, vamos, vamos. Pinchone. Antonio. Quita, quita, quita de hombre armado. Torneo, ya me presentaré yo al torneo. recuerdo si era aquí. Ahora subiendo las escaleras.
Onions that'll even make your man cry like a little lass. Come and buy some.
Sobre el armero. Por de puta que me tienen aquí. No me dejan pasar por...
What was that?
Cura, ¿eh? Que se está haciendo de noche. Vale. Yo donde tenía la cama. La cama. Y por aquí.
Lovely and new.
hijo de puta ese ahora. Pero el merino no está.
Someone there.
Mírala.
I have a document for you from Sir Divish. It concerns the renewal of Pribyslavitz.
The village you drove those bandits out of?
Very same.
So it's true then? Good. Good. Let me see that document then.
Here it is.
So what have we here? It says I should announce that anyone interested may move to Pribyslavitz to live and work. And Sir Radzig and Sir Hanush also give their consent. In that case, let's not waste any time. Come along with me.
Bread! Rolls and pretzels! Bread! Bread! Rolls and pretzels! Bread, fresh bread, bread, rolls, buns, and pretzels for you.
Got a soup in winter, onion
Hear ye, hear ye. It is hereby announced, in the name of Sir Hanush and Sir Divish, that you, the citizens of Ratai, as well as those who have found temporary refuge here, are permitted to move to the hamlet of Pribyslavitz to the north of Talmberg Castle, wherein you shall be vouchsafed a new life and new dwellings, providing that you shall contribute to the renewal of the hamlet. All those who choose to accept this offer shall be exempted from payment of taxes for a period of 5 years. They shall be permitted also to make use of timber from the surrounding woods and water from the streams. The hamlet of Pribyslavitz lies in the domain of Sir Divish of Talmberg, and all who settle there shall be duty-bound to him. It is furthermore hereby announced that Henry of Skalitz is appointed to the administration of Pribyslavitz and the office of bailiff therein, which office and privilege have been conferred upon him by Sir Divish for loyalty and services rendered. I would therefore recommend that our Skalitz friends consider this offer very seriously, as nothing better is likely to come your way anytime soon.
carrots and apples, picked today with a smile on your face.
Oh.
Why? Sí, sí, no ha dejado aquí dinero con cabeza el cabrón. ¿Se ve en el mapa? No, en el mapa no se ve.
Welcome back. What news from Ratai?
Well, the bailiff read Sir Divish's decree, and now I'm officially bailiff of Pribyslavitz.
Then allow me to congratulate you. What will be your first step?
First, Actually, I'm not quite sure. What would you recommend?
As it happens, I already saw to a few things in your absence. You might have noticed that the first people have come from Ratai.
Yeah, I saw some heading here right away.
So when they arrived, I was able to start clearing building plots with them. After they directed some temporary dwellings, that is.
So we're ready to get things started?
As long as you know what you want to build, I can show these new people what to do. We'll be building on the sites we've measured out. You can go and look them over first, if you like.
I'll do that. I'll see what's going to be built where.
Nevertheless, I doubt you'll be able to figure that out just from looking at the sites.
How do I choose what to build where?
I've already given it some thought on your behalf. I even wrote it all down in the accounts ledger. Everything will be recorded there. I'll make a note of every change as we proceed.
Thanks. That'll be a big help. And where can I find this book?
It will always be kept at the rat house.
Well, there's nothing here, so we'll have to build everything. Ale house, bakery, butchers, rat house. Did I mention ale house?
Eventually. But be warned. To begin with, it's always best to start with facilities that will be producing construction materials for everything else. And since we'll mainly be using timber, it makes sense to set up a woodcutter's camp.
All right. And then what?
That depends. Every building has its use. You'll soon get the grasp of it, and it's all in the ledger.
What about the workers' wages and buying materials for artisans?
The money must be put in the trunk here. The expenditures for wages and materials will be taken from it. So you should keep it topped up to prevent delays. Which reminds me, there's the matter of my own pay to be resolved.
Yes, of course.
Sir Divish guaranteed me a fixed income. What's more, this job is an exceptionally big one.
I see. But how much are you thinking?
I have a record of payment here somewhere. Here it is. Let's say 1/4 more than that.
Well, as you said yourself, it's just a continuation of your work for Sir Divish, so I see no reason to change the conditions now.
Well, all right. It seems we understand each other. I agree.
Good. I'll put your wages in the trunk too. Are you sure it's quite safe?
Quite. Only you and I shall have a key and access to the trunk. Besides, we'll have guards on watch here.
Ah, that's reassuring.
That's about all to begin with. If you need any more details, I'll be happy to explain things to you.
Could you explain something to me? What are my duties as bailiff?
As bailiff, you must see to it that the village grows and prospers. You'll have to resolve disputes between citizens, and decide what I should have built. The coin for it will come from your own purse. Basically, you'll have to keep the whole locality under control. But you can't just do whatever you like. You're still answerable to Sir Divish, as am I.
Which means...
Which means that if the folk here are unhappy, word will soon get to Sir Divish, and he'll put you in your place. So you'd better see to it that there's no thieving, and folk have jobs to do, and their wages are paid.
Of course. I'll keep a close eye on things. How do I build houses?
First, find out how much it'll cost, and whether the upkeep won't ruin you. Everything is written in the ledger. You can check it all there, or just come and see me.
Sure. How do the accounts work?
The most important thing is to know how much profit your buildings generate, and what they cost to operate. That's written on the very first page of the ledger, which will be kept at the Rat House. Whenever we erect a new building, I record it there. And you'll find all the profit generated by the village in the trunk next to the ledger.
And what if we spend more than we earn?
Then you'll have to put the amount necessary for covering the operating costs into the trunk.
I see. Probably best to have a little extra there for a rainy day then. How do operating costs work?
Those are the workers' wages. Costs of material and equipment for tradesmen and so on.
And what if I don't have enough coin?
Then production will grind to a halt. Watch out for that. Folks soon get grouchy if they're not getting paid. The amount needed each day is recorded in the accounts ledger too. So you should keep enough in the trunk to cover the wages.
And how do I pay the workers?
Don't concern yourself about that. I'll take care of it. As long as you provide the coin.
So I could put enough money there for, say, 3 days in advance?
Indeed. Simple enough, isn't it?
All right. Thanks. How can I get new people to come to the village?
Don't worry about that. Folk will gradually turn up of their own accord when there are houses for them. Each building can house a certain number of people. The bigger the house, the more inhabitants. And the more space you have for them, the more country folk will come here in search of a better livelihood.
What about tradesmen?
I can find you fairly competent ones. But if you can get really skilled artisans, it will certainly be a boon for the village income. Although it's not all that easy to get skilled people. You could ask around.
I see. Any suggestions?
You could try asking the two Sasau armorers for a start. They're always at each other's throats, so maybe one of them could work here. But don't forget to get a forge and armory workshop set up for him. Otherwise you'll only be wasting his time.
Right. I'll go and have a word with them later. I must give some thought to who else would come in handy here. Thanks. How can I improve the buildings?
The process is exactly the same as for building from the ground up. We need to have enough coin, materials, and of course, something to improve. It goes without saying there's no point in better blacksmith's equipment if you've no forge to put it in.
Well, I can't argue with that. But why bother with improvements at all?
Because they make it possible to produce better goods that can be sold at a higher price, so we'll earn more money.
Nothing, actually. So, how am I doing with the village?
Let's see. You're still far from having the income you need to make the village prosper. Well, the village isn't ready yet for the expansion Sir Divish is planning. The church is still in ruins. Doesn't create a good impression. We're on the right track, but we haven't reached the end yet.
All right, I'll get stuck in. I want to build something.
Certainly, Master Bailiff. What's it to be?
Let's start repairing the church.
It's impossible. Check what you need in the ledger.
I'd rather not build anything just now.
O sea que me toca... Guay. Hostias, no.
Will I never? Hey! Mother of God! Hey!
Morgan.
Will I never? Hey! Hey! Mother of God! Hey! Mother of God! Hey!
Los malditos.
Hey!
Mother. Mother of God.
Mother of God!
Hey!
What?
Mother of God.
want to build something.
Certainly, Master Bailiff. What's it to be?
Let's start repairing the church.
It's impossible. Check what you need in the ledger.
I'd rather not build anything just now.
Tengo que seguir el libro.
I want to build something.
Certainly, Master
I'd like to build the rat house.
It's impossible. Check what you need in the...
We'll need woodcutters to ensure timber supply for building.
Right. That should do it. We've got everything we need to start building. Come with me.
We're gonna build here?
Yes. Shall we get started?
I'm ready.
I'll just quickly check again that we have everything we need. We've got what we need. Let's get to work.
is it this time?
We have a problem with water. That is, with the stream. With the, use of the stream.
The stream? What seems to be the trouble?
Sir, they won't let me have a shit.
What's that?
Your locator here won't let people go for a shit.
God give me strength.
Master Locator, would you be so kind as to cast some light on the matter?
I never forbade anyone to defecate. It's not something that can be prohibited anyway.
You did so.
All I asked was that people did their business further downstream. After all, we don't want our water supply contaminated. It could cause disease.
What kind of disease?
Digestive disorders, fever, even death.
Ah, what a load of nonsense. We always poured our shit out right there on the road. They even do that in Prague, for what I've heard. What else would they do with it?
Is it true about Prague?
Admittedly, in many cases, yes. But often there's no other option. The wealthier citizens have a latrine in their courtyard which they empty out whenever necessary. The common folk do empty their chamber pots on the streets.
See now.
But it's also said that if the Turks ever try to attack Prague, it's the stink that will hold them back, not the walls.
What do you suggest, Master Marius?
Let the people answer the call of nature at least 100 feet downstream from the village.
What? That far? What if I get the runs? I'd shit myself before getting there.
I've decided. Defecating will only be allowed at least 100 feet from the village.
But, sir...
A wise decision, Henry.
Well, at least we have permission to go and shit again. I'll go and tell the fellas we can go to the stream. It's been a tough few days.
You mean you haven't been since... No, don't say it. I don't even want to know.
I want to build something.
Certainly, Master Bailiff. What's it to be?
I'd like to build the rat house.
It's impossible. Check what you need in the ledger.
I'd rather not build anything just now.
Uf, pues esto va a tardar un poquito en hacerse. Esto no va muy deprisa, que digamos. Vamos a ver el libro de cuentas. recursos. A ver. ¿Qué hay?
I want to build something.
Certainly, Master Bailiff.
That rickety old footbridge won't do. We need a proper bridge and a firm road.
It's impossible. Check what you need in the ledger.
No, we don't have a tavern here yet. People need to wash the dust down after a hard day's work.
It's impossible. Check what you need in the ledger.
With all the woods around, we ought to keep bees here. There's always a demand for honey.
Very well. Come along with me. Once we're there, I'll oversee the building, so they don't botch anything.
Vamos, nene. Bien. Necesitamos claro, una fuente de ingresos. Es eso.
We're going to build here?
Right here. Ready to start?
I'm ready.
I'll just quickly check again that we have everything we need. All good. We can start construction.
Mira qué bien.
I want to build something.
Certainly, Master Bailiff. What's it to be?
Trade is important, and we'll have a wagon bringing goods in, so we'll build a trader store.
It's impossible. Check what you...
We'll need plenty of tools, and they'll need repairing too, so we have to have a blacksmith.
It's impossible.
We need guards to protect the village and keep the peace, and we need to build them.
It's impossible. Check what you need in the ledger.
We need to get some stables built.
It's impossible.
Let's build a butcher shop.
It's impossible.
Well, people have to eat.
It's impossible.
I'd like to build the rat house.
It's impossible.
Let's start repairing the church.
It's impossible.
Con
I'd rather not build anything just now.
Aquí habrá que se tendrán que pasar días. ¡Hala! ¡Si se ha chupado todo! ¡No jodas! Hostia puta. Calla, calla. Vale. 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 Y ya es lo que ha pasado aquí. Si no, esto me... necesito, pues eso. Alguna misión. Vale. Ya mañana más.